The reason you're struggling to lose weight is literally because your gut is a mess. Some point along the way, we have just accepted the fact that everyone has shitty digestion.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
It is like a fucking personality trait to be an IBS girly. Or we've just accepted that because you have always dealt with shitty digestion, no pun intended, that is just normal.
I get diarrhea a lot, but I don't know why I just said that, but I do.
That's just the way it is. That's how your body responds. You are sensitive to foods, you bloat, you go swinging between constipation to diarrhea. That is just what you have accepted as your normal. And then you wonder why your body does not respond.
I hope you're not oscillating between one extreme and the other, but putting that aside, she and other wellness gurus online believe that gut health affects whether or not we lose weight. At the same time, there are people out there who are also online who do not agree with her take. I came across this Reddit that read, how does gut bacteria affect weight loss or weight gain? And the two responses which stood out to me were, one, the first person said the short answer is that there is no practical effect, and the long answer is that gut bacteria has become the new fad in blaming obesity on anything other than personal choices. If you are gaining weight, then you are eating more calories than your body needs. If you lose weight, you're eating too few. And someone responded and said, this is a great comment. Few people want to accept responsibility for their actions or consequences and blaming anything but their own choices and scapegoating mindless bacteria. As you can see, they don't really agree with the idea that our gut bacteria affects whether or not we gain or lose weight. And while that thread may be from 10 years ago, I came across very many other recent threads that have the same idea, such that people are on both sides. There are people who believe that gut bacteria will influence whether or not you lose weight, and we have people who say that that is cope. And every decade, we see a change in health debates. More recently, there has been a talk about gut microbiome. You have probably heard about this one way or the other because it is the new thing. People are working very hard at healing their guts so that they can lose weight and so that they can feel better. There's just so much about it. People are making sauerkraut. Others like me are living on sourdough bread because really that is one of the best breads out there. And it's not even about the fermentation process, it just tastes better. But we can agree that fermentation, as well as taking probiotics, has become the new trend of the decade. And like I've said, people have been going for fermented foods. We have seen people stock up on probiotics. We are seeing people invest more in consuming more prebiotics. They are interested in eating more fruits and vegetables. And this has been going on as people try to better their lives as a whole in the pursuit of better health. And as these changes happen online and offline, we have also seen doctors and wellness experts talking about how our own gut microbiomes could be affecting our weight. And while there is a lot of pushback out there on this idea, recent studies are suggesting that we are just barely scratching the surface when it comes to our own unique gut environments. But that said, when we walk away from health, when we walk away from how our gut microbiomes affect our mental well-being, how they affect how we do when we go number two, should we care about these gut microbiomes in the context of weight loss? Does it really matter if your gut microbiome is balanced if you're trying to lose weight? Let's get into that. Hello and welcome back. My name is Daisy, aka D, and I'm a weight loss coach who makes weekly videos talking about the weight loss beliefs that keep women stuck by complicating their weight loss journeys and making it harder for them to achieve the results that they want. So if that sounds like something that you will be interested in, I invite you to join our community. I should also add that all my videos are sponsored by my Better in 90 program, which was designed to help women lose weight and keep it off using sustainable approaches. There is a link to the program in the description where you can learn more about my services. Gut microbiomes are highly complex because they comprise bacteria, viruses, fungi, archaea, and other microbes, all of which play a vital role in our body's functions. If you'd like to learn more about the gut microbiome, there are so many books out there. I recently read one, I think the name was Gut Health by Dummies. I like their books because they are very straightforward, they just get to the point, and there are many others out there, so you can look at one of those books. And the reason I'm saying that is because I will not get into the nuances of gut microbiomes because my focus will be on weight loss. If you'd like to get into the nitty-gritty, there are so many valuable books out there. Now, for many years, we have been conditioned to the fact that losing weight is a calories game, such that if you eat fewer calories than your body needs, then you will ultimately lose weight. So the moment that researchers started saying that there was a relationship between gut health and weight gain or weight loss, and that our gut health had a role to play in how successful we were in our weight loss journeys, they faced a lot of opposition from fitness and weight loss coaches who are grounded in the idea that it was just CIC or calories in, calories out. because that is the way it has been for a very long time. And so why was there so much opposition? Well, we can start with the fact that gut microbiomes are a highly complex topic. You also saw that I avoided getting into those nuances because that will be a lot to talk about. It's very complex. At the same time, gut microbiomes, they're invisible. They're talking about bacteria, viruses, fungi, archaea. So people tend to think of them as being irrelevant because if you cannot see it, then you cannot talk about it. But with calories, you understand it's energy. And so you understand what happens for the body to lose weight. But with gut microbiomes, like what are you really going to be talking about unless you get into those nuances? Secondly, since the math of calories in versus calories out is very straightforward, many people did not see the need to complicate the math with nuances because it works. It's calories in versus calories out. It works. So why bring in the gut microbiome if we already have a system that works? And these were the reasons that people were pushing back on the idea that gut health exists. Even in that comment section, you saw someone saying that gut bacteria, gut microbiome have become the new coke for people who want to blame obesity on anything other than their personal choices. And I know that obesity is a very, very complex topic on its own and have made a video on that. So people just disregard gut health for these reasons. Our gut microbiomes affect quite a lot in our bodies. The other day, I read about this woman who received a fecal transplant from a depressed man, and she had not suffered from depression before that. But after the fecal transplant, she started showing signs of depression. And the only thing that changed was she got this fecal transplant from someone. That is just how powerful our gut microbiomes are. They have the ability to affect how we feel, how we move around in this world. They are very powerful. And when it comes to weight loss, you see the same kind of powerful effects. Our gut microbiomes play a role in the following things: our hunger and fullness cues, how we store fat, how we digest food, how we absorb nutrients, and how we process calories. Yes, that final one is really important. These gut microbiomes even affect what we find to be palatable, and they affect what then we decide to eat, because if I don't feel good when I eat this, then I will not eat it. So they affect our food preferences. And of course, I have to come back to the calories aspect, because our gut microbiomes affect calorie processing. Some studies have even found that some bacteria and archaeal strains are more efficient at extracting calories from food. So two people may eat the same meal, but they will absorb different amounts of energy from it. However, which brings us back to calories in versus calories out, according to those same studies, the difference between what one person will absorb, someone who has these strains, compared to someone who doesn't have these strains that are that efficient, the difference is slight. It's minimal. But that's not all that our microbes affect. They are also tasked with producing short-chain fatty acids, and these affect our metabolism and inflammation in our bodies. Fungi, for example, are essential in shaping our metabolic health. And that means when we have imbalances, which is a topic of debate on its own because the opinions on these are very, very varied. But moving away from that, if we do have imbalances in our guts, that means we will have more difficulty losing weight. And we will be at a higher risk for conditions such as insulin resistance and obesity. However, despite all of these findings on how our gut microbes affect our weight and our health overall, researchers hold that gut health is not the only factor when it comes to weight loss and weight management, but rather it is just one piece of the puzzle. That means that by improving our gut health, we can improve our chances at losing weight by influencing factors such as appetite regulation. And this is something that we can all do by following our balanced diet, eating more fiber-rich foods, and embracing fermented foods. I should also add that we still come back to calories in versus calories out, because even if you don't work on your gut health, even if you're not drinking kombucha every day, or making sauerkraut in your kitchen, or eating sourdough bread, or doing any of these things, or buying probiotics from the pharmacy, you can still lose weight. Because as much as gut health plays a role in weight loss and weight management, it is not the only factor. If you can focus on getting your calories in and being in a calorie deficit, you will still lose weight regardless of whether you're oscillating between, like the first creator said, constipation and having the runs.
You go swinging between constipation to diarrhea.
Of course, it will be more comfortable for you to deal with these issues, because when it comes to weight, you don't just want to think about the number on the scale. You also want to think about your health overall. And I don't think there's anything that's comfortable or enjoyable about not having a great time in the bathroom or even having gastrointestinal issues. It's really important for us to take care of our health overall.
I should note, I'm having some digestive distress. So if I excuse myself abruptly, don't be alarmed.
Gut health is a growing body of research, a very interesting topic, which I will encourage you to read more about. But as things stand, it's still a growing body of research. And in reading recent articles and books on the matter in preparation to make this video, I can say that it is clear that we still have a long way to go. Like I even said, when it comes to imbalances in the gut, people are not sure what that really means. We have people on different sides when it comes to what constitutes imbalance in the gut. They're still not certain on that. You have one person saying this, one researcher saying this, and another saying that. But as we wait for them to come to a conclusion and give us concrete findings that we can use to pave the way forward. We can take note of the fact that preliminary studies have proven that I need to drink water. Gut microbiomes do affect the way that we process calories and manage our weight. Even though they cannot override the laws of thermodynamics, it still comes down to calories in versus calories out. I really want to reiterate that because I don't want that to get lost at any point in this video. It's still calories in versus calories out, but you do better if you improve your gut health. And that is something that you can do by diversifying your food sources and getting enough fiber, because this will support your weight loss goals and also improve your health. I would love to hear more about what you think about gut health and weight loss, and whether you've also jumped on this trend to make fermented foods if you're taking probiotics, if you're really interested in eating more fiber, for prebiotics, if you're doing research on gut health, if you're reading interesting books that you'd like to share. I would love to hear all about that. Also, give this video a thumbs up if it cleared things up for you, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on next week's myth, because I will see you in the next one.